coming up on BG Now. Music from Southern Europe. It's difficult to learn, but easy to appreciate. We'll share the sounds with you. This is one way to avoid a bad hair day, but we'll tell you why the only thing more beautiful than being bald is the reason people shave their heads. And have no fear, these reptiles are harmless, and they live in the classroom. Find out what you can learn about these misunderstood creatures. Those stories and more next on BG Now.
Hello and welcome to BG Now. I'm Lauren Salkowitz.
And I'm Ryan Lucene. A new tradition began at BGSU this month.
The university hosted a special event to kick off Women's History Month. The second annual Women of Color Leadership Summit took place last week. The summit consisted of a question panel and a group discussion. A moderator asked panel members about their jobs and experiences as a woman of color. Grad student Kayla Murray explains how watching the summit inspired her actions for the future.
Listening to their personal stories and what they had to say was really inspiring because I want to be that person, that representation for another person that may look like me in the younger generation.
The Women of Color Leadership Summit was the first of several events this month to honor women and their achievements. All events are open to the public. To find out more information, check out the BGSU events calendar.
When it comes to student veterans population on campus, Bowling Green State University takes it seriously. BGSU was once again named one of the top universities in the nation for veterans at the end of last year. The previous ranking was in 2016. This time, it ranked 27th nationally and first in the states in the Military Times annual survey. This was a proud moment for the office and university. Those in the Military Student Services Office are working closely with student veterans.
Trying to take a more proactive approach in creating engagement with the student veteran population and military affiliated students here on campus so that we can better address their needs and wants.
The office made its social media accounts a place students can go to for all information. Graven then changed the way bi-weekly meetings were run in hopes of getting more military affiliated students involved. Food is also now provided. More than one announcement goes out and guest speakers come to the meetings to share their nonprofits or past military experiences. BGSU is a top academic choices across the country for veterans and active duty personnel. The BGSU Board of Trustees approved the university's newest degree, a Bachelor of Science in Systems Engineering. The program will launch in the fall and is the only one of its kind in Northwest Ohio. It will also offer students different approach to design and improve systems in manufacturing, logistics, retail services, and healthcare.
For one local man, old cars are more than just a collector's item. Snook's Dream Cars, a place that shows a dad's love for cars. Owner Jeff Snook wanted to show off his father's legacy. Cars are a passion of the Snook family, and that is the reason for this museum. Everything cars. Inside you can find Texas memorabilia, license plates, and of course, cars. A good portion of the building shows items that were collected or bought by Jeff's dad.
He'd be proud that we still are in existence, and the fact that so many people have got to enjoy the things he collected.
Some of his dad's cars are displayed here, along with Jeff's cars that are still driven today. This is a living museum open to the public for everyone to enjoy.
The music department at BGSU is diverse, both in members and music styles. One example is Balkan music, which comes from southeastern Europe. It's a challenge to learn how to play.
Balkan Ensemble started in spring of 2019. Every semester, it is based on a different kind of music. One semester might be music from the Middle East, or an old-time American string band. What brings the students over is the unusual chords and harmonies. It's normal for the Balkans, but it isn't normal for American listeners and musicians.
It's interesting because more contemporary classical music, European classical music, sometimes does use these very unusual meters. But in the Balkans, these meters are not considered unusual at all. They're very traditional.
Majority of the students usually play European classical music and jazz. So the new styles in the Balkan music is something to get used to.
Is understanding and not just how the rhythm works, but how I can play with it. Because every tradition improvises differently, and so you don't want to start playing something that's, oh no, that's actually more African than it is Balkan.
Not only are the harmonies different, but the rhythms are different as well. The tempo and time signature changes can be challenging, but the key changes are the most difficult.
If any of the songs are syncopated, they are in a way that makes sense with the language. So it's not like the language is fighting the rhythm. It very much goes with the rhythm.
One of the Balkan Ensemble's pieces had a time signature in 11/16, a musical measure with 11 beats per measure.
Bowling Green State University and Northwest State Community College signed an agreement earlier this week. The agreement will allow students to transfer credits from an associate nursing degree at NSCC into a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree at BGSU. With this new agreement, students can begin working on their BSN and complete it in as few as 3 semesters.
The Bowling Green State University Recreation Center wants to motivate students to get their bodies moving bright and early. Group X classes provide a fast-paced workout for the Bowling Green community. The workouts are designed for people to enjoy with their friends and peers. The classes are ran by BGSU students studying athletic training.
This class, everybody's doing the same workouts, and everybody keeps each other accountable and keeps each other motivated. And it's all about consistency. So if you're able to keep everybody accountable and everybody comes consistently, then everybody gets better.
Group X classes are free for everyone on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The only catch, classes begin at 6:30 in the morning.
Reptiles and amphibians may induce fear in some people. However, this fear is often overcome with a visit to a lab on campus. Reporter Vivica Grayson shares how BGSU's Herpetarium helps people appreciate misunderstood animals.
With over 30 species of animals, the Herpetarium is a sight to see.
The Herpetarium lab has a variety of reptiles, such as this ball python named Kit. How cool is this snake?
Amphibians also make up the lab. Starting in 1997, the lab has created a space for education and research.
I started it in part because when I was teaching intro courses, I'd hear students say, biology is the study of life, but we only see dead stuff. And I thought, okay, well, let's start bringing life into the classroom. And so, I bring the animals in.
The animals are used for educational demonstrations. Using a hands-on approach, people are encouraged to interact with the animals. The animals cannot receive care without the help of volunteers. After hearing about the lab, one student knew she had to get involved.
When I moved into my dorm, I actually came to the lab, and Dr. Underwood was walking out right when I was walking in to be like, hey, can I volunteer? And she's like, are you afraid of snakes? And I was like, nope. She's like, you're probably going to get baby corn snakes.
Expansion of the current animal collection has been discussed. The future regarding this is unknown, but what is known is how these animals will continue to open people's minds and challenge perceptions towards them. For BG Now, I'm Vivica Grayson.
St. Baldrick's is an event that happens every year at Bowling Green State University, but it affects people every day. Reporter Danielle Kane has more.
St. Baldrick's helps raise money for childhood cancer. Participants can shave their heads, volunteer, or fundraise. Even though this event is once a year, Haley Lander said it takes a lot of planning.
We've been prepping since September, I think.
People who shave their heads prepare even longer. Shaving your head can be an emotional experience for some, but Nyoka Thatcher does it to support a friend who got diagnosed with a brain tumor.
We were like, wow, you never think somebody in your friend group is going to get hit with that.
Nyoka shaved her head about the same time as her friend. Nyoka said if her friend beat cancer, she would shave her head again. And guess what? Her friend beat cancer. Nyoka kept her word. She even has a positive attitude about it.
I mean, it's just hair. It grows back. Who cares?
Nyoka plans to shave her head every 2 years. She feels connected to her friend. And St. Baldrick's is the reason people get to make a difference. Reporting for BG Now, I'm Danielle Kane.
You know, I think this event is a great way for the community to come together and show their support for not only those that just, have cancer, but for friendships as well.
Well, totally. It's a very, very sweet gesture of friendship.
I know for me, if one of my friends got diagnosed with cancer, I probably definitely, by all means, would go ahead and do something like that just to show my support.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Twice. That's it for tonight. Thank you for watching BG Now.
Join us again next week for more news and for campus and the community. Have a great night.